Hey, Roger Marnier again from Billings, Montana. Dr. Dave Janda has some of the best reporting anywhere. This on General Flynn I thought was really interesting. Listen up.
Interviewed General Flynn on January 24th, 2017. Well, the original 302 form is missing. When the FBI interviews someone, in this case,
Now, he talks about the original 302 form is missing. What the heck is going on there? Where did it go and what happened to it? And then they've got these 4 or 5 other forms that have all been doctored, all been changed and altered. What the heck is going on? You know that there's some serious problems with this stuff, and they're up to their eyeballs in crap and forgery and concealing evidence.
General Flynn, they fill out a form and they have 5 days to fill it out and turn it in into their Sentinel system. They have 5 days. So that would be by January 29th, 2017. Well, guess what? That 302 form is missing, according to the prosecutors. But they presented some other 302 form.
Now, they said according to the prosecutors, it is missing. Someone's got a record of that, a copy of that, or someone has destroyed it, period. But they're not releasing it. Again, that's another problem with the deep state and the crooked government. I don't trust them. I don't think Trump is ever going to get fully in control of things. He's going to do a great job. He's going to do great things. But he's going to have a battle for the rest of his presidency, the rest of the 5 years, almost 5 years. He's going to get reelected, but he's never going to overcome the deep state and the opposition mainstream media. But he will start, and this is most important, he has started and will continue to encourage and support revolutions around the world that want to make their countries great again, want to have their rights again. These battles are going to go on and on until the second coming and Christ comes and destroys the deep state and the wicked people that rule and reign on us. Okay, so where's these 302 reports? So we'll see what Dr. Dave Janda says. So are they going to have to subpoena these, and they're not going to get them anyhow to even subpoena them? Or some of this going to come out? I hope it does. Thanks to Dr. Janda and others like him. Janda and others like him. It's important to understand what's really going on behind the scenes. Without research and legal action, we would never know. That's why I support Judicial Watch and other people that are really digging and trying to find out what's going on and bringing this real news and this real information out.
One on February 10th, one on February 11th, one on February 14th, and one on February 15th, all of 2017. Usually for an interview, there's one 302 form. In this case, there are 4 that have been edited and one, the original, that's missing.
All right, so stop right here. 4 of the 302s have been edited and one is missing. What in the hell is going on? This is fraud and corruption and deceit to the nth degree. And the FBI is complicit in this fraud. And they're supposed to be above board. Well, you know that's a bunch of crap.
Sound a little fishy? Yeah, more than fishy. It's interesting because that Sidney Powell had revealed that, in fact, those forms, and found that those forms had been edited. And apparently, as we've discussed in previous videos, and go back to the archives again, where we've discussed this at great length about General Flynn and his innocence and how he is being framed by the deep state. And he's being framed by the deep state because, well, he knows where all the bodies are buried when it comes to the deep state. and they cannot have him in a position of power, such as National Security Advisor to Donald Trump, which is why he was immediately targeted to be taken out. But Sidney Powell has revealed that those forms, those 302 forms, of which the original is missing, have been edited. And apparently they were edited by who? Lisa Page and Andrew McCabe.
Wow. So they're edited by Lisa Page and Andrew McCabe. Are you freaking kidding me? Unreal.
Edited to the point where it made it look as though he lied when he didn't. Which everybody's trying to make sense of. Well, wait a minute. Why did the agents interviewing him, Strzok and Piatenka, say that they felt that the general hadn't lied when they interviewed him on January 24th, 2017? How about because he did not? It's just when the forms were changed. And then the question comes up, well, then why in December of 2017 did he sign a plea deal saying that he lied on one occasion to the FBI? How about this? As Sidney Powell pointed out in her motion to compel the information, the exonerating information that shows General Flynn's innocence that the prosecutors are holding on to, General Flynn was threatened, coerced. If you don't sign something, we're going to come after your family, and in particular, your son. His son, whose wife recently had a baby. If this sounds like something out of Stalin's Soviet Union, of Mao's China, of the Stasi out of East Germany, well, you'd be right, because this is. It's beyond reprehensible. It's criminal. Well, General Flynn had been scheduled to be sentenced on January 28, 2020. And apparently that there is an agreement between the defense, Sidney Powell's team, General Flynn, and the prosecutors of a stay for roughly 30 days. But in the meantime, on January 14th, Sidney Powell filed a motion to withdraw the plea of guilt for General Flynn. Here's what Sidney tweeted. We just filed a motion to withdraw the plea of General Flynn because the government acted in bad faith, with vindictiveness, and breached the plea agreement pursuant to which he had cooperated fully at great personal expense and held back nothing, according to the prosecutors, until General Flynn refused to lie on demand from prosecutors in the Rafikian case. Van Grack, the prosecutor, exploded. Now his new sentencing memo seeks to send General Flynn to prison. You see, when the prosecutors went to court in a sentencing date, December of 2018, they recommended 0 months probation for General Flynn because he was cooperating. He had cooperated with the special counsel Mueller's team, of which they got nothing out of him, and he cooperated on this individual he had done business with by the name of Bijan Rafikian. And they said, oh, he's been exemplary. He's helped us. Well, it turns out that was in 2018. In 2019, when Rafikian was going to trial, apparently these prosecutors, when you read this withdrawal withdrawal of the plea document, it appears that the prosecutors tried to strong-arm General Flynn into lying so that Rafikian could be prosecuted. And he refused to do so. And then when he refused to do so, all of a sudden, on January 7th, 2020, the prosecutors recommended, rather than 0 months in prison, they recommended between 0 and 6 months in prison. Again, if this sounds again like something out of Stalin's Soviet Union, out of Mussolini's Italy, out of Mao's China, out of the Stasi's East Germany, yeah, you got it. And that's why Sidney tweeted what she did. I consider Sidney Powell a friend. The night she entered that plea, January 14th, she sent me a cover note. Michael T. Flynn withdraws his plea. I'm going to read a couple segments of the letter for you. Today, General Michael T. Flynn has exercised his right to move to withdraw his plea of guilty because the government has engaged in bad faith and vindictive conduct, and it has breached the plea agreement pursuant to which he has cooperated for 2 years. General Flynn is innocent of all charges. Mr. Flynn was always truthful, and future filings will make that clear. General Flynn has been targeted, might I say, by the deep state, my words, not Sidney's, by vindictive and unprincipled prosecutors. In the summer of 2019, General Flynn refused to perjure himself for the prosecutors in a case against a former partner in his private business. That was Rafikian. This refusal to be coerced into a lie led the government to file a new sentencing memorandum, which was in January 2020, in which it reversed course and withdrew both its representation that General Flynn provided substantial assistance and its recommendation for a departure, as contractually mandated by the plea agreement. The government's attempt to withdraw its prior motion and change its position is a breach of the plea agreement, a contract. Mr. Flynn's counsel must move to withdraw the plea to protect his constitutional rights. When the government breaches its agreement with a defendant, counsel is obligated to seek the appropriate remedy, here, withdrawal of his plea. For these reasons and for further substantive and serious reasons that will be filed at a later date, General Flynn has instructed his counsel to withdraw his guilty plea. General Flynn is innocent of the charges against him. He has fulfilled his commitments to cooperate with the investigation in good faith. The same cannot be said for the prosecution. We will work now to reclaim his good name for his sake and that of his family, and to help restore trust in our justice system by standing up against the scandal and abuses of his unjust prosecution. The judge now has to rule if he's going to accept General Flynn's motion to withdraw his guilty plea.
So you're telling me the judge has not accepted this change of plea from guilty to non-guilty? Wow. Unreal. I thought that was already a done deal, but maybe it's not.
Judge Emmett Sullivan has a choice. It's this simple. Bottom line. He can uphold the law and the rule of law and not only allow General Flynn to withdraw his guilty plea, but when you read the 24-page document that Sidney Powell and her team prepared on behalf of General Flynn about the removal.
Now you got to understand that there's a whole team working with Sidney Powell, 24-page document. Wow. This is important stuff. She's not alone. People need to be prayed for, supported financially and otherwise.
Of the plea. When you read the document she filed about that his defense was entitled to the evidence that shows his innocence that the government is withholding, I believe Judge Sullivan not only should allow General Flynn to withdraw his plea of guilt, but he should in fact not only dismiss the case, but hold the prosecutors, I believe, on prosecutorial misconduct charges.
Wow.
So Judge Sullivan has a choice. He can uphold the rule of law, or he can uphold the political frame and hit job that the deep state has engineered against General Flynn. It is that.
Well, we're going to end it here. I didn't know that Judge Sullivan, hadn't already accepted that plea, non-guilty plea from Flynn. Wow. So what's he going to do? he goes to the non-guilty plea, then they've got to do another trial, and this evidence needs to come forth. But the government's not giving the evidence out. So O'Sullivan's stuck between a rock and a hard spot. What's he going to do? It's Roger Martin from Village, Montana. I guess this will all come out one way or another. What a crooked system. What abuses of power and authority, especially in the legal system. Good day.